Hello everyone. This is going to be a really quick one because I've got to jump in the car and take my grandson back to Bath in a few minutes. So somebody was asking about this card. It was using up a tiny bit of jelly plate printing, and I'm sure all of us have got heaps and heaps of scraps of bits of lovely backgrounds that we just can't bear to get rid of. I just had a look in a couple of drawers this morning and there were just loads, absolutely loads. Shaving foam technique, this is a wax paper resist, jelly plate print, smooshing, all sorts. So I'll just quickly do one of these, really quickly. What shall we use? Let's use a little bit of that one. That's a nice bit of jelly plate printing, isn't it? I've got a tower full of all these scraps. So the first thing I want to do is just, there's a bit missing there too, just to cut a strip for the width of this. So I've got a trimmer here. Let me just cut a little strip. And I think I will cut it 1.5 centimetres wide. Okay. So there's my strip. It's a little bit wider than that one, but that's neither here nor there. Right. To just accentuate my strip on this one, I did a little bit of embossing. I found, I think this might be a Kaisercraft border stamp, and it's just dots. So what I'm going to do is to put my front panel into my stamping platform. I think I'll have it just a little bit lower than that. Okay, there we are. Now, a little bit of anti-static. That's that. Little bit of Versamark. That's this. And stamp. Okay. Take this out, just put that out of the way. Piece of scrap and some white, wow, opaque embossing powder. Okay. And I haven't decanted this into something else, although it's a big pot, because WOW say that their pots are kind of anti-static, whereas if you put them into any old plastic, it might build up a bit of static, which is what we don't want around the embossing powder. Right, now I'm going to just heat set this. I'll warm up my gun a little minute first, because I found that my gun has started to warp card a bit, so let's try it. Okay, so this is just, it has warped the card just a little, can you see? But I can straighten that out with the foam tape when I come to mount it onto the card. Okay, the next thing is to mount my piece of jelly across it. So for this one, I think I will use my big old glue pen. Let's try this one. Just put a line across. Now with that one, I was very careful about which bit I used, because it was literally just that strip. That's all I had. And so I wanted a bit for the birthday bit at the bottom. So now I'm putting this on, putting it level. There we go. And I will trim that in just a mo. This is on paper, that one was on card, so it is a bit different really, so let's just see. And snip, and snip. That one I had to start right at one end and use the whole of it because I just didn't have enough for the sentiment. Okay, now there's my strip covered by or surrounded by a little bit of embossing. Next, the happy. Just cut it from a bit of scrap. I've tried my Nouveau drops on. I won't use that. Could use that. Let's find a bit. Here we go. No, that's paper. Paper. Here's a bit. There's always a little bit by my guillotine. Okay, here's the happy. We're going to cut out the happy. I'm trying to train this as was top plate into a flat bottom plate. I don't know if I'm going to be very successful. We shall see. Right. Here's my happy. This is the Greetery, I think, this one. Okay. Now, some people would brayer some Versamark onto this, but what I tend to do is this. I just pop it onto the pad and just press it with my fingers like this. That's the way I do it. So here's my bit of scrap again. Got my Versamark on the right side. Sprinkle a little bit of white embossing powder. More haste, less speed probably, but I am kind of in a bit of a rush. He's got to meet his friends in Bath at 1, so we'll have to see how we get on. Oh dear. Right. Pop the lid on this. And we'll just heat set this. I'm just going to put my tongue, what do you call them? Tweezers, either side of one of these just to hold it still. Did that mark it? Just need to do a little bit in the middle there. Okay, actually on this one I did 2 layers, which I would probably do again, but this is just to give you the kind of, make sure it's cool. Don't want to smudge it. That gets stuck on there. The birthday is one of these words here. It's that one there. And the way I tend to do this is to do it kind of upside down. I will lie the die cutting side up, and I will put a little of the paper that I'm going to cut it from on the top of it. So what did I do with the rest of that paper? I've got the rest of it here. A bit of that. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Oh, I've put it somewhere safe, haven't I? A bit there, a bit there. Oh, that's the bit I cut off. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is, here it is. I just need a little bit for the birthday. And I think I'll just put it onto this bit. Oh, there's a spare bit of paper here. I'll just stick it to that because it's only copy paper and I want it to be a little bit thicker. So I'll just join it to a bit of paper. Okay. Now we don't need much, so this will probably do it over the birthday. Right. Cutting plate. And here's my birthday. Just need to poke out a few of the little bits and bobs. And I would stick this on with a bit of that. So let's just do that quickly. Okay. Now trying to position this so that it can be seen with the happy as well. So it'd have to go about there, I would say. Right. Oops. Dear me. Sticking to myself. There we go. Take a bit of time, Christine, but I'm in a rush, so that's what's going on. Okay, this one, I say I'm going to do another layer of embossing just to make it more smooth. Then I'll just show you on this one. Someone asked about Nouveau drops. What would you do with Nouveau drops? And I think I said I found them. They've been staring me in the face. Been looking for ages for these Nouveau drops. Didn't know what I'd done with them. Hadn't got a clue. And they were right in front of my nose all the time. So here I've got some Nouveau drops. And I would always practice just before I use them on a bit of scrap. So here are a few drops I tried out just to see the size you want and all the rest of it. So top off, and I'll just do about 3 up here. But then you need to leave your, make a slightly bigger one. You need to leave your card open to dry out until these are fully dry and hardened, because there we go. There we are. Another thing, another one bites the dust. All right. So this is the Mark II. I will do an extra layer because you can see it just rounds it more, and then foam tape to put it onto its card base. And Bob's your uncle. There you go. And thank you so much for watching.